What's up, family? You know what it is. It's Ashley Daishell here, AD, and guess what? You're tuned in to another episode of Living Outside the Box. You know my motto, I don't subscribe to no lane. And why? Because I do what I want, when I want, how I want. And that's all because I am living outside the box. Let's go. Hey family, what is going on? You know what time it is. You are tuned in to another episode of Living Outside the Box. And as I previously stated, you know I don't subscribe to any lane because here, Living Outside the Box, we do what we want, when we want, and how we want. Tonight, I have a very, very special dear person to me who's joining me. She is a beast. You hear me? When it comes to finances, personal finances, she's an international speaker. She speaks all over the world. She speaks to big corporations. She speaks to colleges. She speaks to just about anybody who will listen about financial literacy. And I thought it was very important to have her on with me. I work very close with her, and she is just amazing at what she do. So I am having tonight join me, Janae Adams, y'all. Welcome, Janae, on with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited. Because although I do, I know you on a personal level, but I've seen you work in your professional level, and you're amazing at what you do. So I was so excited to have you on. And of course, if you've seen any of my previous shows, living outside the box is basically living outside the box in whatever area you choose to live outside the box. And so I had creatives on, and I had, oh man, I done had a little bit of everybody on. I had young entrepreneurs on. I had people talking about love and relationships and living outside the box for married and singles. And I was like, why not put someone on who knows what they're talking about when it comes to finances and living outside the box in finances. And that is definitely something that me from the outside looking in, I see you do all the time. So just give the audience a little background about you and what all you do.
Well, I am Janae Adams, and I pretty much, like she said, speak around the world about finances. I paid off $50,000 of debt in 2 years. And so that's what I share. I share that step by step of how I did that. And I have 2 books, and I am a mother, and I am just Janae.
Yes. She's being modest. She is a mom, and she is just Janae. But one of the things, and when I first sat down with you, okay, and this has been some years now, this is probably about 4 or 5 years ago when I sat down with you, and we did our one-on-one, and all the tools that you brought to the table of how to find money. Because I don't think people realize that you can actually find money. And so when you gave me my dream sheet and told me to go ahead and write down my long-term goals and my short-term goals and start to make things real. Because I think a lot of times that's what we do. We say we want to be debt free. We say we want to, be able to go on vacations and do all these things. But it's not until we actually write them down, what he said, write the vision, make it plain. When we write things down, then it all makes sense. So without giving away, because I want people to be able to go to her website, which is at the bottom of the screen. Go follow her on IG, go follow her on Facebook, because it's worth the investment to get her services. But I do want you to give them a little bit of, especially how you explained to me how to find money. A money attractor.
Yes, the money attractor. And you know what Ashley was talking about with the dream sheet, that's the foundation. Like, people always ask me how I paid off the 50 grand of debt in 2 years. It's really not the right question. It's about the why. Why did I do it? And that's where the dreams come in, the dream sheet. Because once you see your why, then you'll start finding the money. You'll start figuring it out. You're like, okay, I don't make enough money every month for me to pay off 50 grand of debt in 2 years. I've got to find some other ways to make money. So whether that's selling things, whether that's taking on a second job, you know, taking a hobby of yours and being able to make money from that, it's just so much that you can do. But it's about taking that first step to find some money, and then it just snowballs after that.
So what were some steps that you did when you were trying to get yourself out of the $50,000 of debt? Which, guys, she did that in 2 years. 2 years, $50,000. So what were some things that you personally were doing?
Yeah, so definitely, first of all, I took my head out the sand. And I found out, you know, I was in the $50,000 a day. I think that's what a lot of people who are watching, that is a main step right there. Mm-hmm. Who do you owe? Okay? Right. Who do you owe? And down to the penny, how much do you owe? Because you can't get out of this debt until you know it down to the penny. And so I was telling people, not only that, but a yard sale. So we're about to get into the summer, right? We are about to get into the summer. And so therefore you can have a yard sale. Yes. All right. You know, vaccinations are coming through. We can be in front of people. And I had a yard sale every Saturday that first summer. Wow. Every Saturday
and I've been to one of your yard sales.
And at the beginning,
good traffic.
And my yard sales are nothing like it is now. But then it was just, you know, stuff we don't need. Like, let's get it out of here. We need some money. Mm-hmm. And so we had the yard sale every Saturday, 8 to 12. And we would average between $200 and $400 every Saturday.
Wow.
And put that money towards the debt. And we had one Saturday where we sold the lawnmower for $800. Because and so that's how, like, when you're 50 grand in debt with no job, because that's what happened, then guess what? You do anything to get back on track.
Right. And that's amazing that you even said that, like with the lawnmower. A lot of things we think in that time frame we need. Yeah. But then when you start to find, because I know soon as I left you, I went literally and did inventory, and I was like, I got this and I don't even use this. Or I have these things in the closet, I haven't worn them. Like, it's amazing to me the things, once you stop to really take the time to do inventory, how many things you have or you've been hoarding and you don't really even need it. Talk to me about living outside the box in your finances, because you do a lot of things very creatively when it comes to saving money and being able to travel. And one of the services that I personally purchased from you was your 8 surveys that pay, which now the program has way more than 8 surveys. But I thought it was so incredible how I could literally spend about an hour a day doing these surveys and rack up in cash and cards, you know, especially Amazon. You know, everybody spends money with Amazon. And so for me to be able to say, hey, I'm going to do about 5 surveys today. I'm going to make $50, and that's going to pay for something that I don't necessarily have to come out of my pocket and pay for it, was amazing. Yeah. And like I tell everybody, every time someone says to me, oh, I need to find a way to make extra cash, I immediately suggest that, because I'm like, I paid my money for it, but since paying that, I've made my money 15 times plus, and that's not over exaggerating. That's
Easily,
true.
yeah.
All my light up setup and everything that I even have to be able to do my lives and stuff, I got through Amazon, but it didn't come through my pocket. It came from me doing those surveys. So what different things like that? Because you have the money attractor outside of even the Debt Sucks University. What other kind of things do you offer through that?
Well, and of course, like the one-on-ones that, you know, people can work with me, and then of course the online courses around money, around becoming a highly paid speaker, all of that is there, and it's just me putting my knowledge out there to help people. So, like she was talking about the 8 survey sites, which I think now it's like up to 15 survey sites. It's a video on there about traveling and how to save on travel, which I love to travel.
Right.
And so I'm living outside of the box. I do money a lot differently. And, you know, a lot of people are just like, okay, this trip costs this amount of money. No, Janae's going to take her time and look for the least expensive flight, the least expensive car rental, the least expensive hotel to stay at. And that's how my finances are different that way, because I take my time, but taking my time saves me hundreds, even thousands of dollars, you know, each time.
Yes. And I even saw one time you went and I guess they made a mix up with your rental car, and so you were able to get a free upgrade.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I guess for us, we look for, especially our generation, millennials, that instant gratification. And so we want everything right now rather than waiting. So one of my goals going into this year definitely was to work on paying off debt. Which is not always easy, of course, especially when you have children and you have those miscellaneous things. The fact that they've been out of school, thank God they're, gradually getting back into school. But you gave a stimulus course.
Yeah.
When the first stimulus check was introduced, when they began to talk about the PPPs and when they had the advance grants and all those different things going on, what was that time period for you like? Because I know you actually take the time to read the bill.
Yeah.
Which are hundreds of pages long. But you take the time to actually do your due diligence so that when you offer us information that it's on point, which I commend you for, because I know for me, what you say, 800?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But you take the time out to do that. So what was that time period when that first stimulus bill hit? What was that like for you in the financial world?
Yeah, it was during that time, which was last March, April. It was crazy. It was crazy on the health scale because, we were getting shut down. We were staying home, that kind of thing. And, jobs are just being lost by the millions. It was crazy. And so when the stimulus package came out, and I knew that it was going to be some money in there, that was the $1,200 one, and then $500 per kid. I knew there was going to be more in there. And so that's why I started reading it. I'm other than money, I'm really into politics, and I know they intertwine with one another. And so when I read it, I said, okay, not only is the $1,200 in here, but guys, the Paycheck Protection Program is in here, the EIDL is in here, student loan pause is in here. Like it's a lot of things in here that can help many of you out. So it was just about, okay, Janae, we know the world is going crazy right now, globally, but how can we package it down to help people with their money? That's how it was for me during that time.
Right. And you gave, so she did give a course during that time. She did a webinar where she broke down all of those things that we would say is too complicated. She broke it down in layman's terms for us. And she actually did that this last bill as well, where she gave us all that information. So like I said, again, if you go to her website or if you go to her IG, you can get the links and click on these different things to get more educated in your finances. All the information is there. And again, like I said, she takes her time. She does her due diligence. She read everything that concerning finances and what we can gain from it. And I think one of the things that sticks with me the most that you said, even from the first bill, was this is one of the greatest wealth transfers that we've seen.
Yeah.
And that line alone, okay, stuck with me. I don't think I've ever paid so much attention to politics, because I am contrary to last year. I was the total opposite. I don't want to hear about it. I'll listen long enough so that I can put my vote in, but that's really about the extent of it. But I think nothing more than last year, everything was so out there and in the forefront. It forced us to pay attention. But that statement that you made, it was like, okay, I need to see how I can definitely benefit from this, because as we can see, that's why they had to go track back, because all the what we consider to be big businesses and big companies was able to profit the first time around, and we kind of got shunned a little bit. Not even a little bit, a lot of it, because it was millions. So when you made that statement again, it was something that totally stuck with me. So what are some things that you have seen, even yourself, working with different individuals and stuff like that, where you're seeing people basically come out on the other side?
And this is, and the reason I had said the wealth transfer is because when I was $50,000 in debt, that was during the Great Recession.
Yes.
And so I was laid off with no supercharged unemployment that people have now.
Right.
In the where we live at, it could have been as high as $900 per week. Do you know how I could have survived in 2008 with $900
a week? Yes.
They didn't. We didn't have that. We didn't have the also like the SNAP, and if your child goes to a school that has free lunch, everybody got a PPT card. Like, it's a lot of safety nets right now.
Yes.
Was not in 2008 in the Great Recession. So I was telling people, I was like, other than these checks that's coming out, which has been thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
Other than that, it's a lot of other things that you don't see that's also adding money to your pocket.
Right.
If you're in North Carolina, Blue Cross Blue Shield send people out between $200 and $500 a person. Like,
it's money coming from everywhere.
It was money coming from everywhere. And don't let you be an entrepreneur and you got the Paycheck Protection Program. That's up to $15,000 per employee. Yes. It has been trillions, now up to like at least $5 trillion come out this government.
Yes.
So that's what I meant about the wealth transfer. And that's what I'm seeing people right now, which I'm happy to see. They are using the money to pay off debt. They're using the money to save the money. They're using the money to start their kids' Roth IRAs or their 529s and really building for the future, because they felt 2008. This wasn't an economy thing. This was a healthcare thing.
Yes.
Threw the economy into a black hole.
Right.
So now people are starting to wise up with their money. Now they have it coming in and using it for the right reason. And that's what I've seen during this time.
That's amazing. I think I was on Instagram and I saw a family. It might have been a family of 8, I want to say, or a family of 7 or 8. And especially this last time when they did the 1400, they got well over like $13,000. And it's like, yeah. I mean, you got kids, and then at the same time, I looked at that number and I said, imagine what their expenses were, because they have so many children and things of that nature. So I looked at it from both ends, you know what I'm saying? I know even for me and myself, I've been very self-conscious of, how I'm spending and what I'm doing. And then even with me being an entrepreneur, and you sometimes your finances could be all the way up here, and then sometimes it can be very low. So we have to always be mindful of that and make sure that we are covering all of our basics. Talk to me a little bit about your traveling. Where are some places that you've been, and that people would not think that you can go, but you've gone on a budget?
Yeah, on a budget. Pretty much everywhere I go is on a budget. So I just got back from Miami. Miami's pretty inexpensive right now. It doesn't matter where you're in the United States. Unfortunately, my Tokyo trip that's going next week was canceled by the airline, but that one was $258 round trip to Tokyo.
Wait, what?
$258, right?
You said round trip?
Round trip, $258 to Tokyo, Japan. So I was supposed to go for 7 days. It got canceled, but I do have Dubai in November, and that was $400 round trip. So, yeah, I go to LA, I go to Salt Lake City, Utah, because I travel so much with my speaking, then it just translates over, that whole skill set translates over to just my personal. So I've been to Costa Rica. I've been for cheap. I just went to the Virgin Islands in January it was, and that was $85 round trip. So
making us all jealous. Look at the pictures on Instagram.
I love clear blue water and the beach. And so next I'm going back to Florida next weekend. So yeah, I just love travel. That's my passion. That's why I try to stay best with my money, because I spend it on travel.
Now, for you, who you're a mom and a wife, I am a mom. How do you budget and not make your kids understand, but how do you get them to understand money? Because I know a lot of my viewers are parents. So how do you break that down to your children?
Yeah, and you got to learn the word no as a parent. And so when we were paying off the debt, JR was 1 year old, right? Mm-hmm. But he came through that. So he understands how to save money. He don't spend his money. Now, Jocelyn wasn't born, and that was my goal. I said the night I was laid off, I said my first child was born to debt. My second child would not be. And she was. And so Jocelyn is bougie and thinks she's supposed to eat out every day and, go on trips and all this kind of stuff. And she's the one I have to say no to all the time. Like, do you have your money with you? No. Well, then you're not getting it. Right. And so just understand that children know delayed gratification. So when we were talking about the dream sheet, your children get dreams on a dream sheet.
Yes.
Because, in 3 to 5 years, they want their birthday at Disney World. And the next time you're in Target and ask for a toy, you can say, you want the toy or you want your birthday party at Disney World. And they'll pick it Disney every time, because they understand delayed gratification. And it's us that can't get over our emotions.
Yes. We want it now. They
can, wait for Disney World. So that's how I do with my kids. And I always explain it to them in layman's terms. We listen to NPR Marketplace Money at 6 o'clock. They hate it, but they learn from it. And so, they're learning as they're going. They're like, what does it mean by bankruptcy? Well, these stores went out of business because they didn't have a good online presence when the pandemic came. And they're like, oh, okay. Today, me and my daughter talked about investing, about Roth IRA, because she heard me on the phone with a financial advisor. And she was like, what's a Roth IRA? I was like, an investment. She was like, what's an investment? And I was like, not your savings account. And she was like, because I'm saving money. I said, not your savings account. It's an investment. And she said, well, I said, the money grows for you. And she's like, okay. And that's an 8-year-old.
Yes.
So people know that.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So even with being on a budget, which we don't really call it a budget, it's more like a lifestyle, because it's your norm. It's not nothing new. But you did not stop living just because you were paying off debt. And even now, with being very financial conscious, you are still living.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? Because I think for a lot of people, when you hear debt, because I know even for me, it was like doomsday. Like, wait, I got this much debt. a lot of people get down and they kind of stop living, and they just is focusing on, I got to get this done. For a lot of people, as we know, being stressed out, having those anxieties, all of those things play a part in your health, your mental state.
Yeah.
So how are you still living, again, because you're living outside the box? How, even during that time, because I know even in your book, you talk about how you guys still found things to do even in paying off debt. How do you do those things?
Yeah, so people who've read the book know that I didn't go out to eat for 2 years. We didn't go on vacation for 2 years. We didn't buy clothes for 2 years. And so people might be like, oh my God, can I do that? But we did other things. Like I found a healthy cooking class through Wake Forest Baptist. And we would have one cooking class a month where they would, we cook the food, we have dinner, and that was our date night. And they gave us the food to take home to practice. That was one thing. We would rent movies from the library. Okay, we wait for the movies to come to the library. Now we got Redbox, so people can do the $1. Just wait,
right?
And I didn't deprive myself. I just found different ways to do it for free. So instead of going out to Ruth Chris for $100 a night, why don't we go cook steak? And they teaching us how to cook it healthy, and we go home and we have health as wealth as well.
Yeah.
So and that's all money is about. It's like, if you want to build wealth, you're going to have to slow down. Yeah. Everything can't be fast. It's like you got to take your time and find some alternatives.
That's amazing. And I'm glad you brought up the food situation, because I know we laugh about this a lot. We are both foodies.
Yes.
We like good food. Sometimes she posts her pictures and I'm like, why you post that? Now I feel obligated to go get what you got. Guilty pleasures, that might be one of them. But you also work very hard, and you have gotten yourself into a place where now, not that that's something you do all the time, but you do that every once in a while. How did you, because I know for me, I have this, it is a guilt thing, because I'm working so hard and I'm doing all this stuff, but then I have a hard time with rewarding myself.
Yeah.
And I know you spoke about that not too long ago. How are you with rewarding yourself?
Well, when I was paying off the debt, it was just like little things as we reached another milestone. And it could just be, going to get some ice cream or something like that.
Right.
And, and now it's just a part of my lifestyle now. I always tell people, you don't build your life around your business, you build your business around your life. Yes. And so that's the way that I live my life. So if I, like May, as of right now, I don't have any speaking engagements. So now I'm trying to figure out where am I flying to, and how I plan it. And of course I'm going to save money, but that's the way I build things in. It's just like, I know I got one life.
Yeah.
One life. And so when I became debt free, I knew I was going to live this life to the fullest. All my money no longer going to nobody else but me.
Yes.
And so whatever I have each and every month that's extra, it's more than likely to go to traveling, and like I said, eating good. So.
Yes. You recently posted a video where you speak about, I want to talk about two videos that you recently posted. But the first one I want to talk about is when you address how a lot of people will come to you and say, I just don't have the money.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very clever what you said in the video addressing that. So what do you say to people who come to you and say, Jeanette, I just don't have the money?
Yeah. And I always tell people, I said, there are people that literally do not have the money. Right. I have worked with those people through nonprofits. I know what that looks like.
Right.
Many people in my community follow me on my personal Facebook page. You got money. Like, you got some money. And because social media tells on you.
Yes. Yes.
And so a lot of times, and people come to me and I'm like, no, that's not right. You do have something.
Right.
Okay? Now that we have all these stimulus checks coming in, if you got a job, you've had thousands of dollars come in over the last year. Like I said in that webinar, a family of 4 could easily have come out, if they had the Paycheck Protection Program, come out on the other side with $30,000 to $50,000 in this last year. Woo! That's whole salary for some people.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And so there are some people that really don't have money.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that you got some money. You done went to the beach. You done went to Biltmore. Your kids got, I done seen the Christmas trees. Y'all telling y'all during Christmas. Y'all got pictures of all the presents. All the presents. When the world was opened up, you at games. Like, I see it.
Yeah.
So, like, unless you're not on social media, people just have it in them to show things. And that's what I'm like, you got it. And you can do it. Yeah.
One of the things that you said is you pointed out is that it's not that we don't have the money, our money is just not focused.
It's not focused at all. Yeah, that's what it is. It's always that. It's not focused on what you really want out of life. It's focused on, I see this on Amazon, I want gifts right now. But guess what? It should have been focused on putting that money towards that vacation you really want.
Right.
Like, we can't live our lives right here. We got to live our lives out here.
Right.
And, further out and seeing on the long term. And the long term can just be a trip you want to take in 4 months. It don't have to be 4 years.
Right.
4 months, I want to be in Dubai. And right now, Dubai's cheap.
Yeah.
So what you spending $400 on a car payment when you can be in Dubai?
Right.
It's just being able to focus on what really matters to you.
That is amazing. I'm working to get there because I want to take some trips too. The other video that I seen you post not too long ago was when will it be my time?
Yeah.
Or is my time coming? When will my time come?
Yeah.
And I love what you said in the video. So I just wanted you to reiterate that for those who have not seen the video. And even if you did, I want her to reiterate it again because it spoke so loud and clear to me because, again, I am in that place of trying to reclaim. I like to use that word, reclaim my finances so that every month it's not everything that I bring in, everything goes out. So I just wanted you to speak on that video and some of the things that you said in there.
Yeah, and it was just about understanding that you can't judge your beginning to someone's middle.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do that. Whether it's finances, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's corporate, whether it's relationships, you have to understand that you are on your own timeline, especially with money. And social media plays a part in that. A lot of times we see people have this, people have that. They've already got to this point as an entrepreneur. Or this
goals.
Yeah. And we don't know what they sacrificed to get there.
Right.
And so what I couldn't say in that video, but I felt it, was that if you are following people, even if it's following me, and you're feeling like, why I'm not there yet, Janae's in Miami, taking her mom and her daughter, why I'm not there, unfollow me. Mm-hmm. Like that, you can't have that because it makes your journey harder.
Yes.
And I don't want people's journey to be harder. I want you to be focused on yourself, your journey, keep your head down so you can get to that debt-free life a lot faster. You can't get there looking at everybody else because then you're always going to put a new stick out in front. Like you're never going to be satisfied. You're going to say, no, I got to do this now. And so I don't want that for people. So that's what that video was definitely about. Your time.
That's what we would, what some of the older people would say, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, exactly. And in this day and age, just like you said, social media plays a huge part in that. You have all these, again, like we say, goals. You have financial goals. You have relationship goals. You have this goal, that goal. So you find a lot of times people trying to keep up with what they see. Yeah. And so even for me, this will actually be my last episode for this month of Living Outside the Box because I am going on a sabbatical. I'm going on a break from social media, and but we're coming back strong, rebranded in May. But I felt the need, again, like you said, sometimes it starts to play with your mental. you're again trying to keep up with what everybody else doing. You can't be as focused as you need to be. And I know for a long time, one of my excuses that I use, because we are entrepreneurs, I can't not be on social media because I got to run a business. And then through some very smart people and then doing my own research, I found out that, hey, I can build up social media post for months on end and not have to physically touch it. So finances, guys, living outside the box in your finances is so important, especially now. As you can see, everything could be shut down in a matter of seconds.
Yes.
So many people lost their jobs last year. So many people are still out of jobs even now. Although things are starting to open back up, there's still so many people who do not have jobs. So I thought it was so necessary, again, like I said, to have Janae on because she's definitely living outside the box in her finances, and she's helping others as well as myself be able to do the same thing. And I always want to be able to share amazing information with you all. Again, make sure y'all all go and follow her on IG, Janae Adams Speaks. She's on Facebook, Janae Dream Girl Adams, as well as check out DebtSucksUniversity.com. Like, she has amazing services. Again, like I said, she goes and she speaks. Well, she's been doing virtual, a lot of virtual speaking. You know what? And now that how did you, for entrepreneurs, the transition, because you are an international speaker, so you were used to doing so much traveling to do your speaking engagements. How was it for you to transition, the transition piece from, okay, I'm not booking a flight, I'm actually putting on a blazer and going and sitting at my desk in the living room? How was that transition for you?
So my last live speaking engagement, it was at the New York Times, and New York, and so you know what's about to happen in New York last February. It was about to get down, and towards the end, I started seeing more and more people with masks, and I said, Janae, just in case, we need to start building this online platform up. And I was ready when people started saying, Janae, we still need to do these speaking engagements, we still need to do financial literacy. Can you put it on a platform after speaking to us? And I just built it out. And so the transition was seamless because I already had the online platform. I just had to build it up for my speaking and not just my courses. And so it just kept going. And last year was my best year ever in my business. And so I have enjoyed it. I can get on with 3 or 4 speaking engagements a week, and I can't do that if I'm flying. This last year and up to right now has been a blessing. And I'm just looking forward to, probably the rest of this year will be virtual, and then of course 2022, I think people are like, no, it's time for you to come on back.
And then what I like the fact that you said that, because you know we always hear about the devastation of 2020, but then to hear you say that was actually one of the because I say that as well. I know that we've experienced a great deal of hurt and loss, but the time that it gave me to reconnect with family, really focusing on a business, I'm grateful for that time period. So it's great to hear you say, you know, it actually was one of my best years.
And a lot of entrepreneurs that I know, last year was one of their best years, because as an entrepreneur, and you know this, if you don't kill it, you don't eat. And so when it is no paycheck coming in unless you go and get it. And so when we know that, we will grind it out. And a lot of entrepreneurs that I know last year, a lot of them tell me that was my best year. That was my best year. And now I know that I can do what I need to do, whether it's a pandemic or not, or whether something comes surprisingly that I never even thought of. I know I can adapt. And that's power in that.
It is.
It separated the strong from the weak in entrepreneurship. It did. Like, if you can't run a business online and off, you're dead in the water.
Yes.
And I would say that to my entrepreneurs that are watching. And my business is online and off. Like social media can go completely away today, and I'm still gonna make tens of thousands of dollars a year because I know both sides.
Yes.
So that's where the being able to adapt. But that took me 10 years in business to to understand that for myself.
Again, guys, it's Janae Adams with us. Again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had so much fun and being able to be on the other side. This time I'm usually behind you while you do what you do. But it's awesome to be able to interview you and kind of just get your perspective on different things. I appreciate you for coming on, definitely, and taking the time. Guys, again, she is a guru. And I say that with knowing, again, like I said in the beginning, she was being very modest. She is full of knowledge. Literally, whenever it comes to anything finance-wise, or even lately, like I said, with the pandemic and then having to be more in tune with politics, because like she will tell you, politics do affect your money. I literally, anytime something new came out, I was on the phone texting like, hey, Janae, you heard this? Well, what does this mean? So she's full of information, full of knowledge. So guys, definitely reach out to her. She's not one of those people where you can't slip a question into her DM. You see right now, she is very approachable. So guys, if you have questions or anything like that, definitely reach out to her. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. I so appreciate you. She's actually wearing my t-shirt tonight,
guys. Look, Coco by Nature shirt.
Yeah, she's wearing one of our t-shirts tonight. And so, by the way, our website has been revamped. So y'all definitely go on the website, check out some of our latest merchandise. I've been working diligently trying to make everything a lot more user-friendly. But I have a whole bunch of new stuff that's going to be dropping soon. Again, our next episode won't be until May 7th, but y'all know me, I'm coming back with fire. All of this will be revamped. I have two amazing Black woman entrepreneurs that's coming on with me. That is something y'all not going to want to miss. But I am taking a break. So you're going to see my posts and you're going to see everything that I'm doing, but I won't physically be engaging. I'll have things going out to keep you guys in the know of everything that's going on. But it's the end of semester for school. So I have finals and everything coming up. And I was just like, I need a break. So I'm going to take a break and then just come back with some heat for y'all on May 7th. Again, thank you, Janae. I'm going to let her go. It's Friday night and she has her kids. She needs to get back into mom mode. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all, I am going out. Again, I am taking a break. I enjoyed these shows with y'all, and I'm looking forward to what's next. God is changing some things and moving some things around. So like I said, when I come back and premiere in May, it's going to be a shaking up of some things. Things are going to look a little different. But definitely continue to follow me on all of my social media outlets. Y'all know I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. Make sure y'all follow me so y'all can see all the latest updates. I have so much in store, which is why your girl needs to take a break because I've been working nonstop. But it's all for you guys. I'm ready for you guys to see all the stuff that I've been working on. And again, check out the website, www.cbdnature.com. ccbllc.com, and that's Cocoa by Nature LLC. I have new product and merch up there as well. Follow me on IG, Cocoa by Nature _ as well as Process AD. I'm up there, y'all. Follow me so y'all can stay in tune, know what's going on, as well as you're still gonna see my my magazine and the magazine Own It. I'm still contributing to the magazine, so you're still gonna see new pieces come out and be published every month for that. So things are still moving. I'm just taking a mental break, but things are still moving. So make sure you're following and you're staying tuned. I am gone, y'all, and I pray that y'all have a blessed night. I am officially out. Okay? Y'all have a good one.